Hello everyone. Welcome to Fluent English Journey. I am really glad to have you here. Don't forget to subscribe so you can get daily tips to improve your English. Today, we are going to talk about how to use simple daily sentences in your conversations. These sentences may seem small, but they are very powerful. Using them the right way can make you sound more natural, confident, and fluent in English. Today, on Fluent English Journey, I want to take you into a place that many people know, but also a place many people feel scared of. A place where people sweat, breathe loudly, lift heavy weights, and push their bodies to change. A place that can be noisy, confusing, and sometimes a little strange, especially if it is your first time. Yes, today's story is about the gym. But this is not just about exercise. This is a story about courage, about trying something new, about listening to the world around you, and about finding your own voice in English through simple daily actions. So take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and imagine you are standing outside a large glass door. Behind that door is the gym. And today, you are going in. The morning is warm. You feel a little nervous. Your hands feel cold even though the sun is bright. You look at the big sign above the door. It says, Fitness Zone open 24/7. You whisper the words to yourself because speaking the language helps you calm down. Fitness Zone, open 24/7. It sounds simple. It sounds friendly. But still, your heart beats fast. You ask yourself, what if I make a mistake? What if I don't understand the trainer? What if people look at me? These questions play inside your mind, and maybe you feel your chest getting tighter. But today, something is different. Today you decide to try. Today you push the door gently and step inside. The moment you enter, the smell of clean floors and fresh gym air reaches you. You hear soft music playing from small speakers. Not too loud, just enough to give the room energy. You hear the sound of treadmills, fast steps, steady steps, slow steps. You hear someone lifting weights and breathing loudly. And suddenly, you hear a friendly voice. Good morning. First time here? You look up and see a woman at the reception desk. She has a bright smile, and she speaks slowly, clearly. Her voice feels warm. You smile back, but your voice is a little shaky. Yes, first time. She nods with understanding. Welcome to Fitness Zone. Do you already have a membership? You pause. You know this word. Membership. You practiced this word before. You breathe in and answer, not yet. I want to join. She smiles again. Great. Let me help you. She gives you a simple form. Name. Phone number. Email. You fill it out slowly. You try to write neatly. She prints a small card with your name on it. This is your key card. Just tap it at the door every time you enter. And if you need anything, you can ask any trainer. We're happy to help. Her words feel like a soft blanket over your nervous mind. Happy to help. Such a simple phrase, but it feels strong. You say, thank you. She nods and points toward the gym area. Enjoy your workout. You walk forward. The gym opens up in front of you like a new world. On the left, you see treadmills. On the right, long rows of dumbbells that shine under bright lights. Straight ahead, there are machines with buttons and handles and screens, machines you've never used before. The sound of people moving, breathing, talking, and training surrounds you, but you take it slowly. One step, another step. And then another. You tell yourself in simple English, it's okay. I can do this. One thing at a time. You repeat it quietly, almost like a mantra. One thing at a time. You look at the treadmills, and you decide to start there. You choose a machine at the end of the row because it feels safer, quieter, private. You step on the treadmill and look at the buttons. There is a green button. You press it. The belt moves a little. You hold the side handles. You take small steps. Slow, easy, gentle steps. The belt moves under your feet. You breathe slowly. And then you hear a voice close to you. Do you need help with the speed? You look to your left and see a man standing next to his treadmill. He is smiling kindly. You feel your face warm a little because you didn't expect anyone to talk to you. Maybe, yes, you say softly. The man nods and points. This button increases the speed, and this one makes it slower. Start small. No rush. His voice is calm, simple. You smile and say, "Thank you, first time here." He laughs gently. I could tell. Don't worry. Everyone was a beginner once. Everyone was a beginner once. His words echo in your mind while you walk. You look forward and watch the numbers on the screen rise slowly. 1.5. Then 2.0. You notice your breathing becomes steady. Your body becomes warmer. Your nervous heart starts to relax. You feel the rhythm of the treadmill matching the rhythm of your steps. And slowly, very slowly, you begin to feel comfortable, as if the room is no longer too big or too loud. You are just walking. And walking feels safe. After a few minutes, you feel more confident. You increase the speed a little. Just a little. Your steps become quicker. You feel the air move around you. Someone behind you is lifting weights and breathing loudly. Someone in front of you is wiping their forehead with a towel. You look at your hands on the treadmill handles, and you think, I am really here. I am doing this. It is a simple moment. But simple moments sometimes become powerful memories. After 5 more minutes, you slow down and stop the treadmill. You step carefully to the sides. You feel your legs shaking a little in a funny way, but you laugh quietly to yourself. You finished your first treadmill walk. You did it. You take a small sip of water from your bottle. You wipe your forehead. Then you look around again. This time, the gym looks a little different. A little less scary. A little more familiar. You hear the same sounds, but now they feel natural. You hear the soft music. The beeping of machines. The voice of trainers giving advice. Someone saying, "Good job, keep going." Someone else saying, "3 more reps." It all feels like a new language, a new culture, but also like something you can learn, step by step. You decide to walk to the dumbbell area. You see different weights lined up from small to large, from light to heavy. You pick up the smallest dumbbell, only 1 kilogram. It feels light, but you start with it anyway. You lift it slowly. Up, down, up, down. You move your arm carefully. Your breathing matches your movement. And while you lift, you think of a simple English sentence. I can do a little today and more tomorrow. You repeat it with each lift. A little today, more tomorrow. Suddenly, you hear a trainer nearby speaking to another member. He says, "Keep your back straight. Don't rush. Focus on your form." The words sound simple, but they feel strong. You repeat them in your mind. Keep your back straight. Don't rush. Focus on your form. You try to copy the idea with your small dumbbell. You straighten your back, relax your shoulders, and feel your arm moving smoothly. After a few minutes, you put the dumbbell back gently. You hear the clinking sound as it touches the rack. You feel proud. You also feel a little tired, but in a good way. A warm kind of tired. A beginning kind of tired. You sit on a bench for a moment. You look around the gym again. You see people of all ages, different shapes, different abilities. Some are strong, some are flexible, some are fast, some are slow. Some look confident, some look focused, and some look like you knew, a little shy, but trying. You realize something important. This place is not about being perfect. It is about showing up. It is about taking one small step, then another, then another. As you sit and breathe slowly, you think, maybe the gym is not only a place for the body. Maybe it is also a place for the mind. A place to practice courage. A place to practice English. A place to learn new words, new sounds, new feelings. You smile quietly. You didn't expect this. But sometimes, life surprises you when you try something new. Suddenly, the friendly man from the treadmill walks past you again. He waves and says, "Good first day." You laugh softly and say, "Yes, good." He gives you a thumbs up and replies, "Come back tomorrow." That's how you grow. You nod. His words feel like a small spark inside your chest. Come back tomorrow. That's how you grow. You stand up slowly. You walk toward the exit. Your legs feel lighter. Your steps feel stronger. You feel different from when you entered. When you push the door open and step outside into the warm air again, you realize something simple, something powerful. The gym didn't change today. You did. You take a deep breath. You feel proud. And you whisper a small English sentence to yourself. One last time. I can do hard things if I go step by step. And with that, your first day at the gym ends, but your story is just beginning. The next morning arrives quietly, like a gentle smile from the sky. You wake up earlier than usual. Your eyes open slowly, and for a moment, you forget what happened yesterday. But then, the memory arrives. The treadmill. The dumbbells. The friendly trainer. The feeling of nervousness and the feeling of pride. You sit up on your bed and stretch your arms. Your muscles feel a little sore today, just a soft, warm soreness. Not painful, but different. A reminder that your body moved, your body tried, your body began a new journey. You touch your arm and whisper, "This is good. This is change." You stand up, drink a small glass of water, and look at yourself in the mirror. Your hair is messy. Your eyes still look sleepy. But inside your chest, something feels awake. Something feels ready. You smile. Not a big smile, but a small one that comes from deep inside. You say to yourself softly in English, "Let's go again." Simple words. Calm words. Words that give your morning a gentle push. You grab your gym clothes, fold them neatly, and place them in your small bag. You take your water bottle and fill it with fresh, cold water. You tie your shoes slowly, one shoe at a time. When everything is ready, you step outside your home. The air is cool and quiet. The sun is still waking up, painting the sky with soft orange colors. You take a deep breath. Today feels open. Today feels peaceful. Today feels new. As you walk toward the gym, your steps feel steady. You look around the street and notice small things: the sound of a bird singing, the smell of someone cooking breakfast, the soft hum of a car passing by. Everything feels slow and calm. You whisper, "One more day. One more try." And your feet keep moving. When you reach the gym, the door looks less scary than yesterday. The glass shines under the morning light. You tap your new key card on the small black scanner. It beeps gently. The door unlocks. You push it open and step inside. Right away, you notice the same familiar smell, the mix of clean floors and fresh air. The music is soft again. The treadmills are already moving. A few people are stretching. A trainer is wiping a machine. Everything feels almost the same as yesterday, but this time, you feel different. The woman at the reception desk looks up and smiles brightly. "Good morning." "Day 2, she says with friendly eyes. You laugh softly and nod. "Yes, day 2. She gives you a thumbs up. "Good job. Keep it up." You say, "Thank you," and walk toward the gym floor. Your eyes move around the room, and you feel a little more confident. You know where things are now. You know where the treadmills stand. You know the weight racks. You know the benches. You know the trainers. It doesn't feel like a new world anymore. It feels like a place you can learn in. You start again with the treadmill. You choose the same one as yesterday at the end of the row. You step on, press the green button, and begin with slow steps. You feel your muscles waking up. Your breathing becomes steady. After a few minutes, you increase the speed, just a little. You can hear your feet tapping on the belt in a soft rhythm. You feel your heart pumping gently. As you walk, you hear another treadmill start behind you. Someone steps onto it. You don't look back, but you hear the soft tap 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 of their feet. You focus on your breathing. In and out, in and out. Simple. Calm. Then you hear a voice beside you. Back again? Nice to see you. You turn your head slowly. It's the same friendly man from yesterday. He is already walking fast, sweat beginning to form on his forehead. His smile is warm and easy. You smile back. Yes. I came again, you say. He laughs softly. Good. That's the hardest part. Coming back. You walk in silence for a few moments. Then he says, try to keep your shoulders relaxed. It helps with breathing. You relax your shoulders. Your arms feel lighter. You feel your body fall into a comfortable rhythm. After a few minutes, he slows down and steps off his treadmill. He takes a towel and wipes his forehead. Before he leaves, he says, remember, small steps every day. You nod. Small steps. He smiles and walks away. You continue walking for 10 more minutes. Your legs feel awake. Your heart feels strong. When you finally press the stop button, the machine slows down until it stops completely. You step off with steady feet this time, not shaky like yesterday. A small victory. A quiet victory. Next, you look toward the dumbbells, but today, you want to try something different. Something new. Something that feels like a challenge. You walk toward a machine that looks simple but strong. You look at the seat, the handles, the weight. Plates. You stand in front of it for a moment, feeling unsure. You ask yourself, how does this work? And then you hear someone. Need help with that machine, the voice says gently. You turn your head and see a young trainer standing near you. He has short hair, kind eyes, and a friendly smile. He doesn't look busy. He looks ready to help. You nod slowly. Yes, please. I don't know how. He steps closer and shows you the seat. First, sit here. You sit down carefully. Now hold these handles, he says while touching the bars gently. You follow his instructions. Your hands wrap around the cool metal. Good. Now push forward slowly. You push. The weight moves. It feels heavy at first, but manageable. The trainer nods. Perfect. But don't lock your elbows. Keep a small bend. You adjust your arms. Yes, like that, he says. His voice is calm and patient. You push again. The machine moves smoothly. Great job, he says. Try 10 repetitions. You begin. 1, 2, 3, slow, steady pushes. You breathe louder. Your arms start to feel heavier. At 7, you feel your muscles shake a little. At 8, you think you cannot finish. At 9, you take a deep breath. At 10, you push with all the strength you have. When you finish, you release the handles and exhale. Good, the trainer says. Very good for your second day. You smile, breathing fast. Thank you, you say softly. He points at the machine. Start light, go slow, and always control your movement. That's the key. You repeat in your mind. Start light, go slow, control your movement. Before he walks away, he adds, if you want, I can show you a simple routine. Something for beginners. You blink, surprised. A routine. He nods. Yes. Just 3 or 4 exercises. Very simple. You think for a moment. Your heart feels excited, but your mind feels shy. You look at him and say quietly, yes, please. He smiles and leads you to another machine. It is a seated rowing machine. He shows you how to sit, how to pull the handle, how to breathe. Pull toward your chest. Keep your back straight. You try. It feels strange at first. Your arms feel weak. But the trainer says, good. That's it. Just breathe. Next, he shows you a leg machine. Then a stretching area. Everything feels new. Everything feels challenging. But everything feels possible. You follow his instructions slowly, carefully, with full attention. After a while, your body feels warm, tired, and alive. The trainer nods, pleased. Good session, he says. You breathe heavily but smile. Thank you for helping me. He shakes his head. No problem. That's what I'm here for. And you're doing great. Keep coming. His words feel like soft light in your chest. You're doing great. Keep coming. You repeat them quietly to yourself. You walk to a small bench and sit. You open your water bottle and drink slowly. The cool water feels refreshing. You watch other people and notice something new. Everyone is focused on themselves. No one is watching you. No one is judging you. Everyone is busy trying to grow, trying to improve, trying to feel stronger. You whisper, this is good. I can be here. And you relax your shoulders. After a few minutes, a young woman sits near you. She looks tired but happy. She is breathing fast and wiping sweat from her forehead. She turns her head a little and says, hard morning, right? You laugh softly. Yes, very hard. She smiles. But good hard. You nod. Good hard, you repeat. She takes a sip of her water and says, see you around. Then she walks away. You sit quietly for a moment, thinking about that phrase. Good hard. Something difficult but good. Something challenging but helpful. Something uncomfortable but important. You look at your hands. They feel warm and strong. You touch your arm again, and you feel the small soreness from yesterday mixing with the new soreness of today. And you smile. Good hard. Finally, you stand up. You walk slowly toward the exit. Your legs feel heavier, but your heart feels lighter. When you step outside, the sunlight touches your face. The air feels fresh. You breathe deeply. And in that moment, the world feels bigger, brighter, and somehow more friendly. You whisper another simple English sentence to yourself. I am learning. Every day, you begin walking home with slow, tired steps. But inside, you feel something powerful growing. Not just muscles. Not just strength. But a quiet belief in yourself. A belief that says, I can do this. I can grow. I can change. I belong here. And so, your second day at the gym comes to an end. Another step. Another victory. Another beginning. The third morning arrives, but today feels different. Not bad, not scary, just different. When you wake up, your body feels heavier than yesterday. Your arms feel tight. Your legs feel tired. Even your back feels a little stiff. You sit up slowly, and for a moment you think, maybe I should rest today. The idea feels soft, comfortable, warm, like a blanket around your mind. You stretch your arms, and the soreness makes you wince. You whisper quietly, ouch. Then you laugh softly because you know this feeling. It's the feeling of effort, the feeling of muscles waking up after a long sleep. Still, it feels hard. Harder than you expected. You walk to the kitchen and make yourself a small breakfast. A little bread, maybe an egg, maybe some fruit. You sit at the table and eat slowly. While you eat, your mind continues fighting a small, silent battle. One voice says, take a break. You deserve it. Another voice says, go. Just go. Even if it's slow. You finish eating and sit for a moment in the quiet room. The sunlight comes through the window and warms your hands. You close your eyes slowly. And then, something inside you whispers a simple English sentence, soft, but real. It's okay to go slow, but don't stop. You stand up. You take your gym bag, fill your bottle with fresh water, and tie your shoes. Your body still feels tired, but your heart feels awake. You open your door and step outside. The air is cool again, but today it carries a different feeling, something like a challenge, something like a question. As you walk toward the gym, you move slower than yesterday. Your legs feel heavy. Your steps feel short. But still you move. One step. Another. Then another. Cars pass by. A dog barks in the distance. People walk to work. But you're on your own quiet path. When you reach the gym door, you pause. You really pause. You hold the handle, but don't push it yet. You feel unsure. A small thought inside you whispers, maybe I'm too tired, but then another thought answers, even if I'm tired, I can try. You breathe in slowly, tap your key card, and step inside. The gym feels busier today. More people, more noise, more movement. You hear weights dropping, treadmills running, machines clinking. The music is louder. The energy in the room feels stronger, almost overwhelming. The receptionist waves at you warmly. Morning. Back again, she says. You smile weakly. Yes, back again. She gives you a thumbs up. Good job. You nod, but your heart feels complicated. You walk toward the treadmills. The row is full today except for one machine at the center. Not your usual one. Not the quiet corner one. The center. Where people can see you. Where sounds feel louder. You stand in front of the empty treadmill and breathe in. You step on. Press the green button. The belt begins to move slowly. You hold the handles and take small steps. Your legs feel tired. Your arms feel tight. You whisper, it's okay. Slow today. Slow is okay. As you walk, someone steps onto the treadmill beside you. It's the same friendly man from yesterday. He smiles wide. Hey, good to see you again. You smile softly. Good to see you too, you say. He looks at your posture and asks, tired today? You nod. Very tired. He laughs kindly. That's good. That means you're working. Just take it easy. You don't need to push hard every day. You breathe in and say, yes, slow today. He nods. Slow is perfect. You both walk quietly for a few minutes. Your body starts to warm up. Your breathing becomes softer. The treadmill feels less heavy. You begin to relax, just a little. Then, unexpectedly, your foot slips a little. Not a big slip, not dangerous, but enough to scare you for a moment. Your heart jumps. You grab the handles quickly. You look around to see if anyone noticed. Your face feels warm. The man beside you sees the small accident and lightly touches the side of your treadmill. You're okay, he says gently. Just center your steps. Small steps. Look forward, not down. You take a deep breath and follow his advice. His calm voice helps you settle back into rhythm. After 10 minutes, you slow down and step off. Your legs feel heavy, but your heart feels a little proud. You walk to the stretching area and sit on a mat. You begin stretching your legs slowly. While you stretch, you hear the trainer from yesterday speaking to another beginner. His voice is patient and slow. Remember, form first. Always form first. The words catch your heart. You whisper them again. Form first. Form first. It feels like good advice for the gym and for life. You finish stretching and stand up. You decide to try the same machine from yesterday, the one with the handles that you push forward. You sit down, grip the handles, and push. But today, your arms feel weak. Much weaker than yesterday. The weight feels too heavy. You try again. Push. But the movement is shaky. Not smooth. Not controlled. You feel embarrassed. You look around and wonder if anyone is watching. Your mind whispers, people will think you're weak. You close your eyes for a moment and hear another voice inside, a quiet, gentle one. It's okay. Everyone struggles. This is how we learn. You open your eyes and try again, but with a lighter weight this time. You move slowly. You breathe out when pushing. You breathe in when pulling. You keep your back straight. After 10 repetitions, your arms feel like jelly. But you finish. And you smile. Suddenly, the young trainer appears beside you. How's it going today? He asks, noticing your tired expression. You laugh softly. Hard. Very hard. He nods in understanding. That's normal on day 3. Your body is still adjusting. Don't worry. It gets easier. You whisper, I hope so. The trainer smiles warmly. Trust me. It will. Just don't stop coming. That's the secret. He then teaches you one small trick. When you feel tired, focus on your breathing. Slow breathing helps your body relax. You try it. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Your chest loosens. Your shoulders relax. Your mind becomes calmer. He shows you another beginner-friendly exercise. You follow. Slowly. Carefully. But halfway through, you feel something unexpected. Your muscles shake more than usual. Your hands feel sweaty. Your breathing feels uneven. You stop and say, I can't. The trainer shakes his head gently. Not can't, just tired. There's a difference. You look at him confused. He continues, when your body says, I can't, sometimes it means I need a short rest. Not stop forever. He points to a bench. Sit for 1 minute. Then try one more time. You sit. You breathe. You feel your heartbeat slowing. After a minute, you try again. And this time, you complete the full set. Not perfectly. Not easily. But completely. When you finish, the trainer claps softly. Good job. Very good job. You breathe deeply, sweat dripping from your forehead. You smile shyly. Thank you for helping me. He nods. You're doing great. Just keep your pace. You walk to a quiet corner and take a big sip of water. Then you sit down on a bench and rest. And while you rest, your emotions begin to rise. Not loud emotions. Not dramatic emotions. But quiet, heavy ones. You look around at all the strong people lifting weights easily. People running fast. People stretching smoothly. People who look confident and calm. And inside your mind, a small sad voice whispers, I am slow. I am weak. I don't belong here. Your chest feels tight. You stare at the floor. The voices in your mind grow louder. Everyone is better than me. I don't know what I'm doing. I look silly. I'm too slow. I'm too tired. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your heart feels heavy. You want to leave. You want to disappear. You want to hide. But then, there is another voice. A different voice. A soft, warm, true voice. A voice that comes from the part of you that wants to grow. It says, no. You belong here. Everyone starts somewhere. Even the strongest person here was a beginner once. You lift your head slowly. You look at the people again. This time you see something different. You see a man struggling to finish his last set. You see a woman breathing heavily on the rowing machine. You see a young guy shaking while lifting a barbell. Everyone is trying. Everyone is struggling. Everyone is growing. You whisper to yourself, we are all beginners in something. You stand up slowly. Your body feels weak, but your heart feels stronger. You decide to finish with something simple. Something small. Something you know. You walk to the dumbbell rack. You pick up the same small dumbbell from yesterday, 1 kilogram. Light. Familiar. Safe. You lift it slowly. Up, down. Up, down. Your movement is not perfect. But it is honest. It is real. It is you trying. After a few minutes, you put the dumbbell back gently and smile softly. Not because you were perfect. Not because you did something amazing. But because you showed up. You tried. You stayed. Before you leave, the friendly man from the treadmill waves at you from across the gym. See you tomorrow, he asks with a warm smile. You hesitate for a moment. But then your heart answers before your mouth does. Yes, you say. See you tomorrow. You take your bag, walk to the door, and step outside. The sunlight feels warm on your face. The air feels fresh. The wind feels gentle. You breathe deeply and whisper. I struggled today, but I didn't stop. And that is enough. You walk home slowly. Tired. Sore. Exhausted. but proud. Proud in a quiet, personal way that feels like a seed growing inside your chest. And somewhere inside you, a new belief begins to form. Soft but steady. I can do this. Even on hard days. Especially on hard days. And so, your third day at the gym ends, not with strength, not with speed, not with perfection, but with courage. The sun had fully disappeared behind the mountains, and the city lights slowly came alive, one by one, like stars waking up early. Amelia walked through the narrow streets of Lonsdale with a curious smile. Everything felt different after her conversation with Oliver. The city seemed louder, brighter, more alive. As she stepped onto the main road, she heard the faint sound of music in the distance. A soft melody floated through the air, warm, sweet, and a little mysterious. She whispered to herself, "What is happening tonight?" People rushed past her, families holding shopping bags, young couples laughing, musicians tuning their instruments on the streets. It felt like the whole city was preparing for something. A man selling lanterns waved at her. "Vendor, miss, would you like a lantern? Tonight is the Festival of Lights." Amelia blinked. Festival of Lights? What's that? The man smiled proudly. Once a year, the whole town comes together to celebrate hope. We light lanterns, share stories, and make wishes for the future. A soft excitement filled Amelia's chest. Hope, stories, wishes. It all sounded magical. She bought a small lantern, blue, with tiny golden stars painted on its surface. When she held it, it felt warm, almost alive. As she continued walking, the streets opened into a wide plaza glowing with hundreds of lanterns. Children ran in circles, their laughter echoing. Street artists drew beautiful pictures with chalk. Old couples danced slowly to soft music. Amelia whispered, "I've never seen anything like this." Then she heard a familiar voice behind her. "Oliver, beautiful, isn't it?" She turned quickly. Oliver stood there, holding his own lantern, green, shining softly in the evening air. "Amelia, I didn't know the city had a festival like this." "Oliver, there's a lot you don't know about this place. Or about yourself." Amelia frowned a little. "What do you mean?" Oliver paused, looking at the sky for a moment before answering. "Oliver, you came here searching for answers. People don't travel this far unless something inside them is calling for change." Amelia felt her heart tighten. He was right. She was searching for something, even if she didn't fully understand what. "Amelia, I guess I wanted to feel alive again." "Oliver, and do you?" "Amelia, maybe for the first time in a long time." The music grew louder. Lanterns rose into the night sky one by one, floating like tiny dreams escaping into the universe. Oliver handed her a small match. "Oliver, light yours. Make a wish." Amelia held her breath. She struck the match and touched the flame to the lantern's wick. It glowed gently, blue and gold, warming her hands and her heart. Oliver asked softly, "So, what did you wish for?" Amelia smiled, her voice barely above a whisper. "I wished to discover who I truly am." Oliver nodded slowly. "Good," he said, "because your journey is just beginning." And as Amelia released her lantern into the sky, she felt something she hadn't felt in a very long time. Hope. The next morning, the festival lights were gone. The plaza was quiet again, and the streets of Lonsdale looked calm, almost sleepy. But inside Amelia, something had changed. The feeling of hope from the night before stayed with her like a warm echo. She remembered Oliver's words, "Your journey is just beginning." What did he mean? How did he know she was searching for something? Amelia walked through the town with a sense of purpose. The air was cool, and the early sun painted long shadows across the buildings. She passed the cafe where she first saw Oliver, then crossed the old stone bridge. Finally, she reached the place that always made her feel calm. the Lonsdale Public Library. It was a tall, old building with wooden doors and huge windows. The moment she stepped inside, she felt wrapped in silence, a peaceful silence full of stories and secrets. The librarian, Mrs. Whitford, greeted her warmly. "Mrs. Whitford, good morning, dear. You're here early today." "Amelia, I felt like reading something different." "Mrs. Whitford, different? Or meaningful?" Amelia smiled. Mrs. Whitford always seemed to understand more than she said. "Amelia, meaningful, I guess." Mrs. Whitford pointed toward a quiet corner of the library. "Mrs. Whitford, there's a section most people ignore. Old town history. Maybe you'll find something interesting there." Amelia thanked her and walked toward the corner. Dusty shelves. Ancient books. Faded map drawings. It smelled like old paper and forgotten memories. She ran her fingers along the spines of the books, thick ones, thin ones, books with strange titles. One book, however, looked different. It was small, covered in dark green leather, with a golden symbol she didn't recognize. She gently pulled it out. Inside the front cover, there was a handwritten note. "For the one who seeks the truth." Amelia's heartbeat quickened. The pages were filled with sketches, symbols, stars, a strange map of Lonsdale, and notes written in elegant handwriting. As she turned the pages, she noticed something shocking. A small drawing of a blue lantern with golden stars, the exact lantern she bought last night. She whispered to herself, How is this possible?" Suddenly, a shadow appeared beside her. She looked up. Oliver stood there. "Oliver, I see you found it." Amelia nearly dropped the book. "Oliver? What is this? Why is my lantern in an old book?" He sat beside her, his expression serious but gentle. "Oliver, that lantern wasn't just decoration. It was a sign." "Amelia, a sign of what?" Oliver leaned closer and pointed to the map inside the book. "Oliver, a sign that you are connected to this place. More connected than you think. This book belonged to someone who knew you, even before you came here." Amelia felt her breath catch in her throat. "Someone who knew me? How is that possible? I've never been here before." Oliver closed the book softly and met her eyes. "Oliver, you may not remember, but this isn't your first time in Lonsdale." Amelia froze. A chill ran down her spine. Her voice trembled slightly. "What are you talking about, Oliver?" He took a deep breath. "Oliver, you were here once, a long time ago. As a child." Amelia's eyes widened. "No, that can't be." But deep inside, a small voice whispered, "What if it's true?" Oliver placed the book gently in her hands. "Oliver, this book holds the clues. And if you truly want to discover who you are, you must follow them." Amelia looked at the map, the symbols, the lantern, the notes, all waiting for her. Her journey had just taken its first turn. Amelia held the small green book in her hands, feeling its weight, feeling its age, feeling something strange inside her, a mix of fear, excitement, and curiosity. It was as if the book was calling to her, whispering something only she could hear. She looked down at the page again. The old map of Lonsdale was drawn with careful lines, but it was not the same as the modern map. Some streets were missing. Some buildings looked different. And in the very center, there was a symbol she had never seen before, a circle made of stars, and in the middle, a tiny lantern shape. She traced the shape with her fingertip. "Oliver," she said softly, "why is this lantern here?" Oliver didn't answer immediately. He walked to the window of the library and looked outside, where sunlight touched the trees in the garden. His face looked thoughtful, almost sad. "Finally," he said, "because the lantern is part of an old story. A story that connects you, this town, and something lost long ago." Amelia closed the book slowly. "But why me? Why would I be connected to a story from this place?" I don't remember anything about Lonsdale. Oliver turned back toward her. Sometimes memories hide. Sometimes they sleep. But they're never gone. Amelia took a breath. Are you saying this book knows something about my past? Oliver nodded. Yes, and not just your past. Your future, too. Amelia felt a warm chill move down her arms. How can a book know my future? Because Oliver said gently, this book wasn't written for everyone. It was written for one person. He paused. You. Her eyes widened. She almost laughed. For me? But I'm no one special. I just moved here. I'm just trying to understand my life. Oliver walked back to the table and pointed to a small piece of writing on the bottom corner of the map page. Read this, he said. Amelia leaned closer. The handwriting was tiny, soft, almost faded. She read aloud. When the lantern finds its bearer, the path will open, and the past will return to the one who seeks the truth. Her voice shook as she read the last words. The one who seeks the truth. Oliver looked at her carefully. You came here searching for something, didn't you? Amelia swallowed. She didn't speak for a moment. Then she whispered, yes. I don't know why, but I felt pulled here. Like something was waiting for me. Oliver smiled gently. That feeling wasn't an accident. Amelia opened the book again and studied the map. There were markings, circles, arrows, and tiny notes in that same elegant handwriting. One arrow pointed toward the edge of the map, where a forest was drawn with careful detail. Under the sketch, there was a single word. Begin. Oliver, she said, does this mean the journey starts in the forest? He nodded. The map shows the first location you need to visit. The place where your story began, even if you don't remember. Amelia felt a slow, steady heartbeat pounding in her chest. She looked around the quiet library, at the shelves full of books, at the soft, warm lights, at Mrs. Whitford reading peacefully near the front desk. Everything felt normal, calm, yet her world had completely changed in the last hour. What if I'm not ready? She asked softly. No one is ever ready, Oliver said, but that doesn't stop the journey from calling. She closed the book gently, holding it to her chest. Will you come with me? Oliver hesitated for a moment, just a moment, then nodded. You won't be alone. Something inside Amelia relaxed when she heard that. She didn't understand why Oliver felt familiar, why he seemed to know things she didn't, or why she trusted him so easily. But she did. Together, they walked out of the library. The sun had risen higher, painting the sky a soft golden color. Amelia held the lantern in one hand and the book in the other. The map was clear. The direction was clear. They began walking toward the forest at the edge of Lonsdale. As they reached the path, a quiet breeze brushed past them, almost like a whisper in the air. Amelia looked down at the lantern. For a moment, just a tiny moment, she thought she saw the golden stars on its glass glow softly. She blinked, and the light disappeared. Did you see that? She asked. Oliver looked at the lantern and smiled faintly. It's starting, he said. Your story is waking up. Amelia looked ahead at the forest path, still bright from the morning sun but holding shadows that hinted at mysteries inside. She took a deep breath. And then she stepped into the trees. The journey had begun. The forest was quiet when Amelia and Oliver stepped inside, but it was not an empty kind of quiet. It was a deep, gentle silence, the kind that feels alive. Leaves rustled softly above them, birds called from far away, and the sunlight danced between branches, making bright patterns on the ground. Amelia held the lantern close to her chest as she walked. The cool forest air touched her skin, and the smell of pine and earth made her feel strangely calm, even though she didn't know what she would find. The trees were tall, older than anything she had seen in Lonsdale. Their trunks were thick and their branches reached out like arms, almost guiding the path forward. Oliver walked a few steps beside her, watching the ground, watching the trees, and sometimes watching her. He seemed to know the forest well, like he had walked this path many times before. "Oliver," Amelia said quietly, "have you been here before?" He nodded. "Yes, more than once." She looked at him with wide eyes. "Then, why didn't you tell me earlier? Why didn't you bring anyone else here?" Oliver paused, then answered with a soft voice, "Because this place isn't meant for everyone. It only opens when the right person arrives." Amelia's steps slowed. "When the right person arrives. You mean me?" Oliver smiled, but not in a playful way. It was a gentle, knowing smile. "Yes, Amelia. You." She didn't know what to say. She didn't feel like someone special. She didn't feel chosen. She only felt confused, but pulled forward at the same time. They walked deeper into the forest. The trees grew closer together. The air grew cooler. Even the sunlight became softer, as if it was filtering through 1,000 green curtains. After some time, Amelia noticed something strange. The path under her feet didn't feel like a normal path. It felt familiar, almost like she had walked it long ago. She stopped and whispered, "Why does this feel known? I've never been here. Not as far as I remember." Oliver looked at her with calm eyes. "Sometimes the heart remembers what the mind forgets." Amelia touched the nearest tree. The bark felt warm, not cold. She closed her eyes for a moment. A small picture flickered in her mind, a little girl running through tall trees, soft laughter, a hand holding hers, and then nothing. She opened her eyes quickly. "I think I saw something." Oliver waited without interrupting. "A memory," she said. "A small one. But it felt real." "It was real," Oliver said softly. They continued walking, and soon the forest opened into a small clearing. The air felt different here, still, quiet, almost magical. In the center of the clearing stood a stone marker covered in moss. It looked ancient, older than the town, older than even the oldest stories. Amelia stepped toward it slowly. The stone had carvings on it, symbols that looked like the ones from the book. She brushed her fingers along the carvings, and suddenly the lantern in her hand flickered with a soft, golden light. She gasped. "Oliver, did you see that?" Oliver nodded, his voice calm. "The lantern reacts to places connected to your past." Amelia's heart beat faster. "My past? Here? In this forest?" She leaned closer to the stone. The carvings were small, curved, and beautiful. One carving looked like a star. Another looked like a lantern. And then she saw something that made her breath stop. It was a name. Her name. Amelia. She stepped back in shock. No, this can't be real. How is my name here? How long has this stone been here?" "Long before you came back," Oliver said. Amelia stared at him. "Came back? But I've never been here before." Oliver walked closer, his voice gentle but serious. "You were. Not recently, but years ago. Many years ago, when you were a child." The small memory she saw earlier flashed again in her mind, running, laughter, trees. Her hands shook. "Why don't I remember? Why did I forget everything?" Oliver looked at the stone, not at her. "Because something happened. Something that changed everything." Amelia felt fear rising inside her, but it wasn't the scary kind. It was the kind you feel when you're standing in front of a truth you're not sure you're ready to hear. She took a slow breath. "Oliver, tell me what happened. Tell me why I don't remember." Oliver finally met her eyes. His expression was serious, almost heavy. "I can tell you," he said softly, "but not here. There's another place you must see first. A place deeper in the forest. A place where your memories began, and where they were lost." A cold wind passed through the clearing, making the leaves whisper. Amelia tightened her grip on the lantern. Then take me there, she said. I need to know everything. Oliver nodded. Then our journey continues. Amelia looked once more at the stone with her name carved into it. She didn't know who carved it. She didn't know when. But she knew one thing, she was meant to find it. She stepped away from the marker and followed Oliver toward the deeper part of the forest. The shadows grew longer. The air grew quieter. And Amelia felt the strange feeling again, the feeling that the forest knew her and had been waiting for her return. Amelia followed Oliver deeper into the forest, and with every step, the world grew quieter. The trees stood taller here, their branches twisting above like a great green ceiling. Even the sunlight seemed to fade into a soft, cool glow. The air felt heavier, as if the forest was holding its breath. Amelia walked slowly, listening to the crunch of leaves beneath her shoes. The lantern in her hand felt warm, much warmer than before. Sometimes it glowed softly, like a tiny heartbeat she could feel but not fully see. Oliver, she said, her voice barely above a whisper, how much deeper do we have to go? Not far, Oliver replied. We're close to the place where everything began. His voice was calm, but Amelia could hear something else beneath it, a quiet sadness or maybe worry. She wasn't sure. They walked for several more minutes until the trees suddenly parted, revealing a narrow wooden bridge stretching across a small river. The water below was smooth and completely silent, like black glass. The bridge looked old, very old, with ropes that were worn and wooden planks that creaked gently in the wind. Amelia stepped closer. What is this place? Oliver looked at the bridge with deep eyes. This is the Whispering Bridge. Amelia raised an eyebrow. Why is it called that? Because Oliver said softly, when someone crosses it, the forest speaks to them. Amelia blinked. Speaks? You mean, like voices? Oliver nodded. Not voices you hear with your ears. Voices you feel inside your heart. She looked again at the bridge. Something about it felt familiar, like a dream she couldn't remember clearly. She took a slow breath. Did I cross this bridge before? Yes, Oliver said. A long time ago. Amelia touched the rope. It felt warm, almost like a hand holding hers. That same flicker of memory, running, laughter, someone beside her flashed again in her mind. I remember, just a little, she whispered. Oliver stepped beside her. You will remember more when you cross. Amelia looked at him, her eyes anxious. Will it hurt? No, Oliver said. But it may surprise you. She took a step forward. The wooden plank under her foot made a soft creak, but the sound felt gentle, welcoming. She took another step, and the lantern glowed brighter, as if guiding her. Halfway across the bridge, Amelia stopped. The air around her changed. The forest grew still. And then she heard it, not a voice, not a sound, but a feeling. A soft, warm whisper inside her chest. Amelia, you came back. Her breath caught in her throat. She grabbed the rope to steady herself. Oliver, she called softly, did you hear that? I can't hear what you hear, Oliver said from the edge of the bridge. Only you can. The whisper came again, warmer this time, almost like a gentle memory touching her heart. We've been waiting for you. Amelia felt the strange, familiar warmth spread through her body, a feeling almost like love, almost like home. Who are you? She whispered. But the warmth only answered with silence. Then a sudden picture flashed in her mind, a small blue lantern glowing in the hands of a child, her own hands. She gasped and nearly dropped the lantern she was holding now. I saw myself, she said shakily. As a child. With the lantern. Oliver nodded slowly. Yes. The lantern belonged to you long before you bought it yesterday. Amelia shook her head in disbelief. But how? How could I forget something like that? Oliver stepped onto the bridge, moving closer. Because the forest protected you the only way it knew how, by closing the door to your memories. Amelia stared at the water below. The river was dark and still, like a mirror that hid secrets. Why did it protect me? What happened to me here? Oliver's voice softened. You lost someone here. Amelia froze. Her heartbeat quickened. Lost someone? Who? Oliver looked at her with eyes full of silent pain, pain that wasn't only hers, but his too. I can't tell you yet, he said quietly. Not until you reach the end of the path. Amelia swallowed hard. You keep saying that. What is at the end of the path? Truth, Oliver said. And memory. The whisper returned one last time before fading away. Come home, Amelia. She felt tears burn behind her eyes, but she quickly wiped them away. She wasn't ready to cry. Not yet. She took the final steps across the bridge, and when she reached the other side, the air suddenly felt lighter, almost peaceful. Oliver joined her and gently placed a hand on her shoulder. You crossed it, he said softly. That means the forest has accepted you. Amelia looked deeper into the path ahead, a place where the trees grew thicker, the shadows darker, and the air heavier with memory. I'm scared, she whispered. I know, Oliver replied. But you're stronger than you think. Amelia nodded slowly and held the lantern tight. Then let's keep going, she said. I want to know everything. And together, they walked into the deeper part of the forest, toward the place where her memories waited, hidden and patient, ready to return. The deeper Amelia and Oliver walked into the forest, the darker and quieter it became. The trees stood close together, their trunks thick and old, their branches twisting like ancient arms reaching for the sky. The air felt cooler here, almost cold, and Amelia could feel something heavy, something important, waiting ahead. She held the lantern close. It glowed softly, as if it understood the path better than she did. Oliver walked beside her silently, watching her, watching the forest, as if making sure nothing would harm her. At last, after what felt like a long time, the path widened again. The trees opened into a hidden clearing, small, quiet, and filled with a strange soft light that didn't seem to come from the sun. Amelia stopped. In the very center of the clearing stood a single enormous tree. Its trunk was wider than a small house, its roots thick and tangled like sleeping dragons. The bark glowed faintly with a warm, golden shimmer, as if the tree held a gentle light inside. Amelia felt her breath catch. Oliver, she whispered, this tree feels alive. It is alive, Oliver said softly. More than any other tree in this forest. Amelia stepped closer, unable to look away. The tree looked ancient, thousands of years old. Its branches spread out like protective arms, and its leaves glowed faint green, moving gently even though the air was still. What is this place? She asked. This, Oliver said, is the heart tree of Lonsdale. And this is where everything started for you. Amelia blinked. Me? Started? What do you mean? Touch it, Oliver said gently. You'll understand. Amelia hesitated. Her hand trembled slightly. She didn't know why she was afraid, but she felt something powerful inside the tree, something waiting. Slowly, she stepped forward and placed her palm on the bark. And suddenly, the world shifted. A warm sound filled her ears, not a voice, not music, but something like memory itself waking up. The tree felt warm under her hand, almost like skin. And then, images flashed through her mind, bright, soft, and full of emotion. A tiny girl, no older than 6 or 7, running around the clearing, laughing, her hair flying behind her. Amelia gasped. That's me, she whispered. I remember this. Oliver stepped closer but didn't touch her. He let the memories speak for themselves. More images flashed. The same little girl holding the blue lantern. She was smiling, spinning with it, letting its golden stars glow in the air. Amelia felt tears in her eyes. I had it, even then. She saw another image this time, a boy standing beside her. A boy with dark hair and gentle eyes. He was holding her hand, both of them laughing under the big tree. Amelia's breath trembled. I knew someone here. Oliver's voice was soft. Yes, someone very important to you. The images continued running through the forest, playing near the river, crossing the whispering bridge together, climbing the tree roots, sitting under its branches while sharing stories. A sudden warmth spread in her chest, a feeling she hadn't felt in many years. But then the images grew darker. The sky above the memory changed bright blue, turning heavy and full of clouds. Wind started to blow. The child Amelia looked scared. The boy beside her held her tighter. There was a storm, she whispered. A strong one. Oliver nodded. Yes. The memory sharpened. Lightning flashed. Thunder cracked loudly. The tree shook. Adult voices shouted from far away. The children ran. But in the storm, something happened. The boy slipped. The girl screamed. A flash of bright white. And then, nothing but darkness. Amelia pulled back her hand suddenly, breathing fast. Her heart pounded so strongly she felt it in her throat. Oliver looked at her carefully. Are you all right? Amelia shook her head slowly. I think someone got hurt because of me. A boy. I can't see his face clearly. I can't hear his name. But I feel something terrible happened. Oliver exhaled softly, as if he had been waiting for this moment. Yes, that day changed everything. Amelia wrapped her arms around herself. Did he die? Oliver didn't answer immediately. Instead, he stepped closer, placing one hand gently on her shoulder. He didn't die, Oliver said softly. But he disappeared. Lost in the forest during the storm. And when they found you, you were safe, but you remembered nothing. Not his face. Not his voice. Not this place. Amelia felt tears fall down her cheeks. And the forest erased my memory to protect me. Oliver nodded. Because guilt is heavy for a child to carry. Amelia looked up at him, her voice breaking. But why didn't I ever hear about this? Why didn't anyone tell me? Oliver looked away for a moment. Because the boy was never found again. The town didn't know what to say. They thought, maybe it was better for you to forget. Amelia wiped her eyes. But if he didn't die, where is he? Oliver met her gaze then, his eyes deep with meaning, with something heavy behind them. That, he said quietly, is the last part of your journey. Amelia felt a cold, electric shiver run through her. You mean, I have to find him? Oliver nodded. Only by finding him will you understand the full truth. Amelia looked at the glowing tree, her stomach tight, her heart shaking with a mixture of fear and determination. Then we find him, she said. No matter what. Oliver smiled gently, almost sadly. I hoped you would say that. The heart tree glowed softly behind them, as if listening. As they stepped away from the clearing, the lantern in Amelia's hand suddenly grew brighter, strong, warm, almost guiding. The path forward waited. And somewhere in the depths of the forest, a lost memory waited for her to return. Amelia and Oliver left the heart tree behind, but its warm light stayed with them like a quiet echo. The forest around them grew even deeper now. The trees stood tall and close, their branches weaving together above like a dark, tangled roof. The air felt heavier, colder, but not dangerous, just full of old memories waiting to be discovered. Amelia held the lantern tightly. Its golden glow was stronger than before, bright enough to warm her hands. She glanced at Oliver, who walked beside her silently. He seemed thoughtful, almost worried, but he kept moving forward without hesitation. They walked for a long time, listening only to the soft crunch of leaves under their feet. At last, Amelia spoke. "Oliver, the boy from my memory, do you know him?" Oliver didn't look at her. "Yes." Amelia stopped walking. "Then tell me his name." Oliver paused too, his shoulders tense. He looked ahead at the dark path. "Not yet." "Why?" Amelia whispered, frustrated. "Why can't you just tell me?" Oliver turned slowly toward her. His eyes looked sad, and there was something heavy behind them, something he carried alone. "Because," he said gently, "if I tell you too soon, the memory won't return the right way. You need to remember him yourself. Only then will the truth make sense." Amelia sighed softly. She didn't like it, but deep inside, she understood. Some truths needed patience. Some memories needed time. They continued walking. After a while, Amelia noticed the forest changing around them. The trees began to thin, and the air felt different, colder, sharper, almost as if they were walking into a place untouched by sunlight. Then, ahead of them, Amelia saw something strange. A small clearing dot a broken wooden fence, and beyond it, the faint outline of an old cabin. It stood alone, silent and forgotten, with moss growing on its roof and vines wrapping around the walls. The windows were dark. The door hung slightly open. Amelia stopped. A chill ran through her body. "What is this place?" she whispered. Oliver's voice was soft. "This is the place where they last saw the boy." Her breath caught. "Here?" "He was here." Oliver nodded. "This is where the search ended. But no one knows what happened after." Amelia stepped closer to the cabin. The wooden boards creaked softly as she pushed the door a little wider. Dust floated in the air, making the room look like a frozen moment in time. Inside, there was an old table, broken chairs, and a fireplace filled with cold ashes. But one thing caught Amelia's eye, a small, wooden toy on the floor. She bent down and picked it up carefully. It was a carved wooden bird, simple and beautifully made. She held it in her hands, feeling a strange warmth. "I know this," she whispered. "I've seen this before." Oliver walked beside her. "Yes." He carried it everywhere. Amelia looked at him sharply. "You speak like you knew him well." Oliver didn't answer. His eyes stayed on the toy bird, his face still and controlled, but full of emotion. Amelia looked around the cabin again. Dusty shelves. Torn paper. Footprints long forgotten. She walked toward the wall where she saw something scratched into the wood. Tiny lines, small, uneven letters dot a name. Her name. Amelia froze. Why would he write my name?" she whispered, her voice shaking. Oliver stepped closer. "Because he was calling for you. Even when he was alone. Even when he was lost." Amelia swallowed hard. Her eyes stung with tears. He was scared. He needed help. Oliver lowered his head. "Yes." Amelia pressed her hand over the carved letters. They felt old, but still sharp under her fingers, as if the memory had waited all these years for her to return. A soft wind passed through the broken window, whispering through the cabin. The lantern in Amelia's hand suddenly glowed brighter, warm, golden, strong. Then, without warning, she felt a wave of memory hit her. She saw herself as a small child, running through the forest, laughing with the boy. She saw him holding the wooden bird. She saw them chasing fireflies near the cabin. She saw the storm coming. She saw him fall. She saw his hand reaching for hers. She heard him call her name, with fear and trust mixed together. Then, darkness. Amelia gasped and grabbed the edge of the table for support. Oliver reached out to steady her, worry in his eyes. "Are you okay?" he asked. Amelia nodded slowly, though her legs trembled. I remember more now." Oliver's voice was gentle. Good. Your memories are returning. Amelia looked around the cabin again, her heart hurting and heavy. But where did he go? How can someone just disappear? Oliver hesitated. He didn't disappear. Someone or something took him deeper into the forest. A place most people never go. A place the forest protects. Amelia's joy tightened. Then take me there. Oliver looked uncertain. It's dangerous. The forest changes in that place. It doesn't always welcome strangers. I'm not a stranger, Amelia said firmly. This is my story. I have to finish it. Oliver studied her for a long moment, then finally nodded. All right. I'll take you. Amelia looked at the carved name on the wall one last time. Her own name. A message from the past. A call from a lost boy. She whispered softly, I'm coming. I won't leave you behind again. The lantern glowed even brighter, lighting the entire cabin with warm golden light. It was time to follow the final path. It was time to face the truth. Amelia and Oliver stepped out of the cabin and into the deeper forest. The trees were taller here, the shadows longer, and the air colder. It felt like stepping into a different world, a world that had waited for her silently for many years. Amelia gripped the lantern tightly. Its warm glow felt like a heartbeat she could carry with her. She thought about the boy, about the carved name in the cabin, about the memories returning piece by piece. Her heart beat faster. She knew the truth was close. Oliver walked beside her, calm and silent, but she could feel his attention focused on every sound, every movement in the forest. Are you sure this is safe? Amelia whispered. Oliver shook his head slowly. Safe? No, but necessary. If we don't go now, you may never recover the rest of your memories. And he may never be found. Amelia nodded. Fear and determination mixed inside her chest. She took a deep breath and followed Oliver. The path became narrow. Roots twisted across it like living snakes. Leaves crunched under their feet. The deeper they went, the more Amelia felt that the forest was alive, watching, listening, testing. Then, suddenly, the path opened into a small clearing. The sunlight broke through the trees in soft golden beams. And there, in the center, stood a figure. A young man. Dark hair, gentle eyes, holding a wooden bird, the same carved bird from the cabin. He looked at Amelia with shock, his hand trembling slightly as he held the toy. Amelia froze. Her heart jumped. It was him. The boy from her memories. Not a child anymore, but the same eyes, the same presence. Amelia? His voice was soft, almost a whisper, but it carried across the clearing like a song. She stepped forward slowly. It's really you, she whispered, tears rising. He nodded, unable to speak for a moment. His eyes were wide, full of emotion, relief, and something she could not name. I've waited, he said finally. I didn't know if you'd come back. Amelia's voice shook. I remembered. I had to find you. He smiled faintly, though it was mixed with sadness. I never left the forest. I was lost, but I remembered you. Every day. Amelia reached out slowly. Their hands met, and the warmth she felt was more than physical. It was connection. Memory. The years of separation vanished in that single touch. She held the carved bird. I found this in the cabin. It was yours. He took it gently. It always belonged to both of us. And I knew, someday, you would return. The forest around them seemed to exhale. Sunlight danced on leaves. Birds sang quietly in the trees. It felt like the world was welcoming them back, the boy and the girl, reunited after years of mystery and separation. Amelia felt tears stream down her cheeks. I'm so sorry, she whispered. I don't remember everything, but I remember you now. He shook his head. Don't apologize. You were protected, The forest kept you safe. And now we can be together. Oliver stepped back quietly, watching. The forest has returned what was lost, he said softly. The memories, the connection. The story is whole again. Amelia turned to him. Thank you, she said, for helping me, guiding me. Oliver nodded. Your journey wasn't just about finding him. It was about finding yourself. Amelia looked at the boy she had lost and found again. She smiled softly, her heart full of warmth. I remember now, and I won't forget again. The lantern in her hand glowed golden, brighter than ever, as if celebrating. The forest around them was calm, peaceful, and alive. Shadows had disappeared. The path back to Lonsdale awaited, but for the first time, Amelia felt whole. She whispered to herself softly with a smile. I found him, and I found me. Together, Amelia and the boy stepped forward, hand in hand, leaving the forest behind. The sunlight grew warmer. The town of Lonsdale was waiting. But something had changed. Amelia had changed. She was no longer the lost child. She was someone who remembered, who faced her fears, and who had reclaimed her story. And somewhere deep in the forest, the heart tree stood tall, its glow fading softly, knowing its duty was done. The journey was over, and yet, for Amelia, a new story was beginning.